on this beautiful Victory Monday in the AFC North. Today is Monday, November 20th, and yesterday we had our second Super Bowl of the season with the divisional matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and my favorite Cleveland Browns. And Browns, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Back-to-back dubs in the divisional win column. That's what happened. Refs, y'all ain't even hiding y'all bias anymore. Y'all just full-fledged outside with it. How on God's luscious green, foliage-filled earth is this not a safety? Oh, but dude, they won the game. It really doesn't matter. I do not care. They really need to work on getting stuff like this right. Blown calls like this could easily come back and bite the team in the rear end at the end of the game if they're not careful. That's what needs to happen. DTR showing everybody that last time was a fluke. This time is the truth. That's what happened. I was having a debate with a few Browns fans yesterday regarding DTR's performance, and I have to constantly remind myself how often people just jump into debates without actually understanding the sport. He was 24 43 for 165, so barely over 50%, and he didn't have any touchdowns, and he threw a pick. So people were looking at the stat sheet like, oh, he was mediocre at best. He really didn't do anything. That's what happened. Now, while I understand where you guys are coming from by looking at the stat sheet, yes, it does look mediocre, but you actually have to watch the game and see what was actually happening while he was accumulating those 165 yards, and you also have to see the result that came from him accumulating those yards. That's what happened. The first line of defense that I can build for the young man's performance is regarding his completion percentage. I counted at least 5 drop passes yesterday. Now, there might have been more that I didn't see, but from the ones that I saw, I counted at least 5 drop passes, and of those 5 drop passes, 3 of them went to Njoku. He dropped 2 crucial first down passes and a crucial touchdown pass in the second quarter that would have put us up 2 TDs. That's what happened. There was another one I can't remember who it's for. It's definitely at home on my stat sheet for sure. But the most pivotal one up until that point in time in the game was the one to Amari Cooper that led to an interception where it completely bounced off of his hands and landed right in the hands of the Pittsburgh defender. That's what happened. You can even see the frustration that Cooper's showing when he claps his hands after this play happens, because he's like, man, I know I should have got that one. That's what happened. To the young man's defense, passing yards are a joint effort. If you hold up your end of the bargain and the receiver doesn't, then your stats suffer in the end. That's just the way it goes. And those drop passes robbed them of a touchdown, a couple first downs, and some extra passing yards. That's what happened. Next line of defense that I could build for the young man is people talking about that 165 that he threw for is mediocre. Like they could go out there on the NFL field and throw for 10. Bro was out there making it happen on the ground and in the air all game. He stepped up tremendously on that final drive, which led us down the field and set us up for the Dustin Hopkins field goal that won the game. Stop trying to rain on that man's parade and let that man have his moment. That's what needed to happen. Kenny Pickett was 15 of 28 for barely 100 yards. He had 106. And y'all want to sit up here and talk about DTR's performance is mediocre. Cut the malarkey. That's what needed to happen. Moving back to our kicker, Dustin Hopkins, you are the man, and I got your jersey on the way right now as we speak. I promise I'm aware. That's what happened. Defense, marvelous job as usual. Only word to describe this defense's level of play at the moment is historic. That's what's happening. Myles Garrett was a terror in the backfield. Got back there and got him 2 on Kenny Pickett. Okoro got back there, got him 1 on Kenny Pickett. Boy gonna be picking grass and dirt out of his teeth for the next 3 days after all of that face planting he did. That's what happened. Before I end this vid, I actually have to give props to Kevin Stefanski because he called a good game. And not only that, he's actually learning his team and he's learning how to build better game plans with the players that he has instead of treating every week like Deshaun Watson is going to be out there. I said it last week that our defense is so good and our offense is talented enough to go out on the field and do a minimal amount and get a lot out of that and possibly make a playoff push. And I think Kevin Stefanski is doing just that. He's playing smart, simple football. He's not out there doing any of that big brain stuff that he's been doing all year. I don't know if somebody put their foot to his rear end and said, hey, man, simplify it a little bit and stop trying to be Einstein with a play sheet, or if he's just reviewing where he screwed up and he's actually learning from his mistakes. But whatever it is, I'm here for it, and it seems like he's on the right path right now. So good job, Kevin. Keep it up. That's what happened. All in all, great team win for the Browns. I said this coming into this week that the Browns were the superior team, both on paper and in execution, and this win helped solidify that opinion for me. The Pittsburgh Steelers do not have any impact players on either side of that ball. I don't believe in TJ Watt's skill at all. He's either always hurt or he's just completely inconsistent and he just never shows up. And yesterday was one of those games where he didn't show up. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett's skill as well. He's just not that guy to me. So both of those helped us to get a good win out of this, and I hope we continue to keep this momentum going forward. So congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. Back-to-back division wins, 3-2 in the division, and a lot of good football to play. So it's going to be interesting to see how this season turns out. And I think on that note, I end that one right there. Coming up this week, we got the Broncos, and they're on a 4-game win streak right now. So I definitely won't take them lightly. So it should be fun to see how this one turned out. But until then, I'll see you guys later.